So here we are back at the slaughterhouse in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And as you can see, it's just as creepy in the daytime as it is at night. It's hard to believe how much time of my life has been eaten up by this place.
Who are you to judge me?
Bereavement is a prequel to a film that I did back in 2004 called Malevolence. And where Malevolence was just a straightforward slasher film, Bereavement is a lot more complex, and it deals with issues like child abuse, murder, and madness, insanity, and really explores those issues a lot more deeply than just your standard, cliched slasher film.
The path to redemption begins with forgiveness, absolution. You're my witness.
What we're trying to achieve here is to get folks to really relate to the killer in this instance and be able to empathize with him as being a victim as well. I think it's much more psychological, and to see that legacy with one victim passed on to the next victim. And ultimately, I want this to sort of take people's brains and kind of wring them out a little bit. I think that this can really do that.
So here we are on the set of Malevolence 2 Bereavement. This is our first day, and I'm feeling good. Can you believe that? I've got a good team behind me. We've got a real crew, some amazing actors, and it's almost surreal. Try not to run that way. We want to look at this in the background. Just stay over here.
Come closer to camera.
Yes.
People in the background.
The very first scene we shot was actually the scene at the school. We had about 200 extras, kids playing in the playground, and that was actually very challenging and interesting because we started shooting on October 21st, and it was 85 degrees out. So a lot of the crew actually got sunburned that day. And 2 days later, it was like 30 degrees. So there's, Allentown, Pennsylvania weather for you. It's very unpredictable. But that was a very challenging shoot because, we're all trying to get to know each other, and the crew is just getting up to speed, and we've got, 150 kids running around, and anybody who's shot a movie before knows how difficult it can be just working with one child. Take a look. This is what I see through the camera. See that?
Steven thinks we do a good job and that we're really good overall, so it makes it really easy.
All you have to do in this scene is just stand still. Think you can handle that?
Yeah.
Good. And this in this scene, like yeah, exactly. How did you know that? You must have read the script, right?
I don't even know how to read.
You don't know how to read? Well, it's never a better time to learn.
Marco, Chase is on set.
Today we're shooting the kidnapping of little Martin. And of course, they've got him in overalls and a cute little jacket, and he's just so adorable that the audience is really going to hate me for what I'm doing to this kid. And his mom just showed up. There's his mom over there, played by Ashley Wolf. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. We're having a lot of fun. And we're making a movie. Copy.
Can Echo take one? Hit it. Marker? Okay.
And cut.
Cutting.
I told my dad on the phone last night, my mom wants me to get kidnapped. She's getting me away. She's giving me away.
Yeah, this is my copy.
Okay.
So this is the moment. Oh, okay.
We're just dancing. I'm dancing that way.
Do-si-do.
Camera's up.
All right, you evil bastard. This is where you steal Martin from the swing. When he says you want to take a look, wait till he puts his hand out before you take it. Don't seem like you know he's going to put his hand out, okay? So just wait. When you see his hand, then take it, okay? Good job. You're doing so great. I can't believe it.
Don't tell him. I have a lot of admiration for Steve. You know, and he's created this character for an actor. It's awesome. I mean, I usually don't have a problem navigating the emotional terrain of a character, but this one was interesting because it's a little bit of a mosaic in terms of how the pieces come together and everything. So I was really excited to jump in and try to navigate it. And then also I had to sit down with Steven a couple times and ask him, okay, what's going on here? Why does it do this? Why does he do that? He has all the answers. And the great thing is that the answers make sense too, so that's nice.
Brett and I would spend hours on the set and off the set talking about the Graham Sutter character and the intricacies of that character. And Brett really wanted to just know everything. And I said, are you sure? And he said, yeah. I said, okay. So we dove into it. And I don't regret doing that because I think it really helped him to take the character to a place that I had never even envisioned it going, because he really just became that role. And it was pretty scary at sometimes. There were times even I was afraid to approach him because he was really in character. And the Graham Sutter role is a really dark character that, you know, most people really wouldn't want to get to know.
So she's down, we've already done that part. Pull her up. And then hook her, pull her, right to there, and then wrap it around.
Looks like you have a little too much fun doing that.
It's just business.
Where I come up with the Sutter thing is simply just put myself in his position.
That last take, man, was just flawless. That was.
Well, it wasn't what I expected to do, but
I can see your style is very organic. You know, you respond to everything in the room. I can see it. I can see it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, there's like a flow that goes through you.
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
No, it's beautiful, man. I mean, you know, I almost see the lines like formulating in your head. I mean, it's just.
That's the way it should
magical,
be.
yeah.
That's the way it should be. Yeah.
I'm just a vessel. I just put myself in the position to let his emotions come through me. You know, I try not to guess too much where that's going to end up being, and hopefully it's of interest.
There, what do you think?
Awesome.
That's the hairdo right there. It's a comb over. The Sutter gets mad because he's got a comb over. The girls comes over and oh, my hair. I gotta make sure the hair is right.
You're gonna do the Sutter in a box?
Pop out. That's good. That's good. Ah, that's great. That's great. Can you do that when we're shooting?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And action. Good, good. Look over your shoulder. Is he coming after you? Okay, run. Run. Go. 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 Nice. You really see. Fall down over again. Go. Fall down again. Get him in. Get him in. Roll sound. And action chase.
Did you get all that?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
You feed him candy bar or something.
It's day 4 on the schedule. It's raining today, but coincidentally we're all indoors today. However, I do hear that it's going to rain for the rest of the week. So looks like we'll be staying inside a lot. And today's a good day because we're shooting with John Savage. And it should be some interesting, weighty, dramatic scenes.
Dad, this is Allison. Allison, this is my dad.
Hi.
She's from Chicago.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
From Chicago?
Yeah.
I hate Chicago.
I got a call that there was an interest for me, and it's a better script than most horror movies. And I like the director a lot. You know, I got to say that. Actually, he's very good to work with, and I don't think he knows that yet. Thank God. He's good with actors. Actually, he's a wuss. You can't talk. No, it's true. You can't be nice to actors. They'll just take advantage of it. And he's so nice. He's so calm. Man, if I screwed him a couple times, I just do whatever I want. He thinks I'm a genius, but, you know, that's, we're gonna cut that, right? Don't tell anybody.
The script for Bereavement has existed for me for such a long time that I made a very conscientious effort to stick to the storyline as closely as I could. But when you're dealing with the kind of talent that I was fortunate enough to deal with this film, people like John Savage, who brings so much to the role that sometimes you just got to let go and let the scene, you know, run its course. And sometimes you'll see something that is a lot better than what you were originally thinking, and you say, well, you know what, let's just go with that and see where it leads us. And that certainly happened a lot with John.
Okay, pictures up.
One Baker, take 2. Speed, marker.
Hey! The hell are you talking shit to my son?
Dad.
Huh? Who do you think you are? You afraid I might offend somebody? Okay. No problem.
Let's keep it fair.
All I did was say nice things about you.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know?
We were really fortunate with the cast of this film, particularly with Alexandra Daddario. When I cast Alex, I hadn't seen her in any other film, and I think this was her first major lead role in a feature.
Remember, the emotion here is your parents just died.
Right.
You've just been exiled.
Do you imagine that I've just been like crying? On the
Oh,
bus or
absolutely,
just, like,
absolutely.
really
You're in exile
depressed?
now. You've lost your parents and you've been taken from where you grew up to the, you know, and now you're forced to live in the middle of nowhere. So you're, you know, hands at the sides, and he comes over. When he hugs you, just kind of like that. You know, maybe hug him back, but not really. Just kind of like, hey, you know.
Okay.
You know, really no energy.
Right.
Emotion is there, but no energy.
Okay.
And let's see how it looks. We'll tweak it.
Okay.
Is that what you want to hear?
17 Delta, take 2.
Wait.
Marker.
That.
And action.
We all knew when we were working with her that she was destined to be a star, and sure enough, after our film, she got the part of Annabeth and Percy Jackson in The Olympians, The Lightning Thief, and she was so professional, she's so beautiful, so smart, just a tremendous talent.
What brings you to this armpit?
I came to live with my uncle.
Problem with the parents? Family issues?
Yeah.
You too, huh?
I think that Allison is a very relatable character because we all have issues and we all have our problems, and being 17 is hard, and I think there was a lot for me to draw on to help drive the emotion of this character, and I think, you know, she's just a normal 17-year-old girl who's going through a lot, and I think people can definitely understand that, and then it gets exciting.
Allison!
The best way to create suspense is to develop characters that people can relate to and people like. The more they like them, the more distressed they'll be watching the film when those characters are put in danger, because they feel like they've gotten to know that person.
Allison! Can't hear you.
William! Open the door!
Locked.
Hurry!
When I read the script, I thought Stephen really tried to make the characters actually have a story. He really wrote it with a vision in mind of having well fleshed out characters who the audience can actually invest in.
Hello. Can you talk? I can help you. You've just gotta help me get loose first.
Casting the role of Martin was by far the most difficult. It wasn't difficult to cast him because the minute I met Spencer List, I knew he was the right person for the role. But he has without a doubt, the most difficult role because he doesn't have any words in the film. So he's doing all the acting with his body, with his facial expressions, and that's very difficult to do for any actor, much less a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah. His first pass was but not like this. It's like fast down,
it seemed like
slow
he
up,
was going
fast
back.
down, slow
I
up.
couldn't tell if you were
Fast
Yeah,
down,
what's
slow up. Hard
I
down,
couldn't tell
slow up.
if you were going
Down,
too far.
slow up. Like
I'm
that.
sorry, go again.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go again.
And his sister's extremely talented too. Peyton List, who plays Wendy, just a real firecracker in the casting room. And I liked them both right away, and I thought it was very convenient that they were brother and sister.
Oh, Peyton already, I've known her for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours now, and she's amazing. She's a total pro and a sweetheart, and I think we have a real good mom-daughter chemistry, and I can look forward to hanging out with her. And her mom's really cool too. Her real mom, I mean. But she's great. She's a total pro.
What's going on, kid?
Okay.
Working. Don't go all the way. Don't go all the way. Just go there.
I am playing the guardian, the bold, evil that chases Martin down the hill in his dream. Now, I like to think that it's a real manifestation of evil, not just a dream, but that's what I kind of think of myself most of the time. So, I'm all about the evil, the real, living evil.
A lot of people have commented on what it was like to expose those young children to such horrific elements in this film. And of course, we were very protective, whether it was Chase or Spencer or Peyton, to make sure that they weren't really visually exposed to a lot of the horrific elements in the movie. It kind of cracks me up to think that one of the main gripes that Spencer had was that he didn't get to actually murder his sister on camera. So.
And then you're gonna lie in wait for 5 years, waiting for your turn to kill again.
Nice. My twin sister's in it, and she, I get to kill her, but they show it off screen, so it's really cool. I've been telling all my friends that, and they're like, awesome! You get to kill your sister? I'm like, yeah. But yeah, that's my favorite move.
What's that called?
That's called a chicken leg.
Chicken leg. Nice. That's
Yep.
chicken leg.
Bye, see ya. He's like telling all his friends at school, like, oh, I get to kill my sister in the movie, and everyone's like, oh, awesome, that's so cool. And everyone's like, sort of like teasing me about it. Do you think Allison's happy here?
I hope so.
I don't think she likes me.
How could somebody not like you?
I know, right?
Right.
You're gonna come out the door when I yell action, and you're gonna run down these steps all excited. You just can't believe that you're gonna have a sister, right? You're just so excited, right? Do you have a real sister?
Two brothers.
You have 2 brothers, so you're really excited about having a sister, right?
I think it's important not to underestimate the audience and their desire to see a well-told story, not just a bunch of creative kills on screen. When a horror film can make you think about its message, then it's accomplishing something other than just terrifying you. But of course, that was also a goal, was to make it a very scary film. And I think we accomplished that too. I think it's a pretty horrific experience to watch this movie. Marissa Gill was another actor who just came in off the street to read. I was actually looking for the first victim, the opening victim. I was having all the actors, give me their worst scream, and we've been through almost 100 people. And she walked in, and as soon as she opened her mouth, I started talking and then screaming. I was just completely blown away, and we stopped everything right there. We sent everybody else home. We knew we had our first victim.
I get to kill people today. It starts today. I had a dream last night. It's bad. But it's good for this. Bad for me. Good for the movie.
Imagine this, I was in an audition room with like chairs and tables. It was well lit. It was a really very pretty audition room, and I had to imagine that I was in a dingy basement and I was about to be killed by the serial killer. So I had to get in character, and get scared as he's coming toward me with a sharp knife, and then let out a blood-curdling scream. I just got out of hair and makeup, and as you can see, they abused me.
When someone gets murdered, it affects a lot of people around them, and I think one of the ideas with bereavement that I wanted to explore was, when that happens, what's taking place not just to that victim, but to the people who love them.
She never came home last night.
I know.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go find her.
Michael Biehn, when I was casting this film, he was certainly one of my top choices to play the role of Jonathan. I wanted someone who was known not just as a classic genre actor, but also someone who brought some bravado to the role, because I felt with Michael I could pull a few more rugs out from under people that I couldn't have done with other actors, because being who he is, they wouldn't expect what befalls him to happen.
Center!
Uncle Jay!
When you say, do you have a boy living with you? Yeah. Make that a real, odd question. Like, you got a boy living here? Yeah. Okay.
I like this death because, to me, I was telling Stephen, because of all the movies I've done, and you're thinking kind of this heroic kind of guy's going to come here and save his fucking daughter or whatever. And it's like Sam Jackson in that movie about the sharks, where he's you think he's kind of the hero of the movie, and all of a sudden that shark just comes up and bam, he's gone, And it's like this, you kind of think, okay, well, this guy's going to come up and, kick some fucking ass, and boom, man, it's over. Okay, well, so much for that. You mind if I come in a moment?
I'm busy.
Just a moment.
Just a second.
My last couple lines are, do you mind if I come in for a moment? He says no, and then I say just a moment. And then he says something else, and then I say Allison. How's that?
Right.
Roll sound.
Roll it.
Okay, so it's like this. Allison!
Ready, and action!
Allison! Oh! Thank you all very much. I enjoyed you. I thought you were a wonderful crew, man. I really did. Everybody, you're wonderful. What a great crew, Stephen. Where you are, you have here that you assembled. It's the head of the snake, though. You're a good man, Stephen. But it's a great crew, man. You guys were just fantastic.
Fill your mind with up to the top with.
This is by far and away the best crew I've ever worked with. Everybody's really positive, very friendly. Nobody giving me the finger on this one. Everybody looks like they are happy to be here and excited to be working on this project. So, which makes me very happy.
We shot a lot of the dramatic elements of the film first, so as the film progressed into nights and into the much more darker, horrific scenes, I think it started to wear on the crew. Not just the types of scenes we were shooting, but the location, being in the slaughterhouse at night, in the cold, sometimes long nights shooting, can really wear a crew down. And we tried to do whatever we could to keep the morale up. But sometimes, when you're working with this type of subject matter, it can really wear on you and bring you down, because it's not pretty, especially when you're working in a precarious location like the slaughterhouse, which can be very dangerous at times.
Yeah, the crap fell off in mid. Watch out!
All right, clear back from underneath
wasn't
the
a
condor.
camera,
Get
right?
everybody out from underneath the condor. You guys, get out of there.
We had a close call a few minutes ago where a condor nearly killed someone.
We're actually very lucky to have gotten out of there in one piece, because structurally that place is very dangerous. It's, it's literally ready to collapse. And there were times where people were throwing sandbags, locking down lights, where I could feel the entire structure just, trembling like an earthquake. Then you've got, the rats, which are everywhere, and especially at night. That could really freak you out.
Sometimes at night, I kind of start to lose track of. Did you hear that?
As a matter of fact, there was a turkey vulture that took roost in one of the barns, and we had to try to scare it out, but it wouldn't leave. It was protective of its, I guess it had a nest inside there, and one of our crew members got chased out. That was actually pretty funny.
I really am scared of them. And one time I pulled up to paint and it was sitting out there in the chimney and it followed me from as I walked all the way back to the bathrooms.
I heard they're like turkey vultures.
Yeah, they're like turkey
really
dogs.
scary, yeah.
They're like this big.
Code words like stop screaming and just say,
Oklahoma.
Give me down. Proclaim.
I mean, I clearly don't have any lines. If I start talking and I'm like,
Right.
ah, my leg,
Okay.
you know, you're gonna know it's my leg.
When we cast Valentina DeAngelis, she was really excited about working with us on this film.
Let's just start. Tell me a little bit about your character.
I'm sorry. It's just the way you're holding the mic.
You had to say that.
I had to.
I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't sitting here thinking that, okay?
Hey, can you cover my shift tomorrow?
I have exams.
I know. I have to take Jess to the doctor again.
How about Danielle?
I asked her already.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sweetie.
Melissa is this character who works in a diner. It's a very innocent type thing. She ends up getting abducted by a serial killer, and he just tortures her basically the whole time. And it's some very intense stuff.
What I'm saying is like you don't have to show the actual abduction. You know, if you get a way to show it, it looks great. Fine. I said let's have a take where it's like, hey sir, can you hold your truck? And then you go like hands come out with a book shot. Because you know what he's doing. He's Saturn, and sometimes you don't agree.
Well, I agree completely.
The thing is, we shot this
her going, but
we shot her going out of frame just now. I could just hear her go,
look out!
and just cut.
Oh my God! Yeah, like, oh! Technically, all you had to do, honestly, if you want to do like a stylish choice, have him shot of him going, taking a haircut.
Right, he comes like right after she crosses out of frame, we reframe, he goes, yeah. Or just cut to a shot of him going, and twisting the mustache.
All right. Okay, whatever.
To come in and do that for your first scene took a tremendous amount of courage on her part to just literally jump into the character like that. I was very, very impressed with her level of professionalism, being as young as she is, to endure the cold, endure being hung upside down numerous times, and literally wheeled like a piece of meat through the slaughterhouse. And when you watch that scene, there really are no special effects. She literally is hanging upside down by a meat hook. Because of the way this film approaches the murder scenes and the violence, I think the effects team did a fantastic job making it look almost too real. When we were all sitting around talking about how we were going to burn down a house, we really had no idea how we were going to pull it off. I mean, we had a budget, but we didn't have that big of a budget. And in stepped Jeff Cox, who was just a whiz with special effects and with something very advanced that he had come up with himself. It's a very complex compound that he had created that when shot at a certain frame rate actually looks like real flames, but allows you to use miniatures. We were skeptical at first, but when we saw a demonstration of it, we were just blown away. So when you watch the film, it really looks like, a full-scale house that we're burning down, but in actuality, it was only about 2 feet high, and he had built it to scale, and really just blew us away with what he was able to accomplish with such a small amount of money.
Okay.
Yeah.
We shot all the scenes that take place at Jonathan Miller's house. were shot on location at a real house that was basically donated to us by the owners, and they were very, very generous in allowing us to shoot there for a few weeks. But then they wouldn't let me burn down their living room, so we had to actually come up with a fake set that Jack Ryan put together. I think he did a fantastic job because you really can't tell when we're on the fake set, when we're on the real set.
Roll, just roll.
Gas, 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 gas.
The thing that's really cool about this shot is not only are you on a set that we've constructed, but if you look to the left or right, you're in the middle of a bean field covered with snow in a snowstorm. When we watch this all cut together, you won't know that until you actually see the behind the scenes. And it's unbelievable.
On the camera, it looks exactly like our house.
Isn't it going to be strange when you see the movie and you see your house burning down?
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe it.
It's wild.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times when you make a horror film, I think there's, in general, a propensity to sidestep the truthful ending and go for the happy ending, the Hollywood ending. But, you know, when you're going to introduce verisimilitude into a horror film, you can't dance around the fact that, you know, in real life, bad things happen and things usually end badly. You can't just introduce these elements and then at the end say, oh, but, you know, everything turned out okay because it's a movie. Because, yeah, it is a movie, but things don't always turn out okay. And I always wanted to take a truthful approach to this material. A lot of time has elapsed between the making of Malevolence and the making of Bereavement, and I think about all the time that's been invested in this location, from the moment we found it to pre-production and production and a lot of post-production that was done on Malevolence and now this film. You know, it's been a total of like 8 to 10 years, so it's kind of scary to think about, you know, how much time has elapsed and how many hours have actually been spent in this location. It's kind of a frightening thought.